All right, let's dive into one of the biggest rivalries in sports history. Messi versus Ronaldo.
Huge.
We're talking like global phenomenon.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be looking at this article
Okay.
and really trying to figure out what made this rivalry so special,
Yeah.
why it's captured the attention of like millions of people.
Absolutely.
And of course, the big question, who is really the GOAT?
That's the question, isn't it?
Right?
It's what everyone wants to know. And honestly, this goes way beyond just like
Yeah.
trophies and goals and all that.
Yeah.
It really changed the whole sport.
How so?
Well, teams had to adapt. You think about it.
Right.
Training, tactics, everything had to change to keep up with these two guys.
It's like they pushed the entire sport forward.
They did. They really did. Set a new standard.
So let's rewind a bit, go back to the beginning.
Okay.
I mean, both of these guys, they were already making waves like back in 2007.
Oh, yeah.
Both were contenders for the Ballon d'Or FIFA World Player of the Year.
All the big awards.
And it seemed, at least early on,
Yeah.
there was a sense of like mutual respect between them.
Totally. I mean, there's this quote from Messi where he says, playing with Ronaldo would be brilliant.
Wow.
So you get that sense right from the start that they recognized each other's talent.
They knew they were witnessing something special,
For sure.
but then things start to heat up in the 2007-08 Champions League semifinal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was their first real showdown on a global stage,
Huge stakes.
and Ronaldo misses a penalty kick.
Talk about pressure.
I can't even imagine.
United ended up going through, but you could just feel it.
Feel what?
The rivalry, it was starting to build.
It's like that moment set the stage for everything that came after.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the 2009 Champions League final.
Oh, man.
Barcelona wins it. Messi scores a header.
Classic.
You could argue that that was the moment things really ignited.
You could, yeah. A turning point, for sure.
But here's where it gets really interesting. 2009, Ronaldo transfers to Real Madrid.
Wow.
Now they're both in La Liga,
Face off in El Clasico.
multiple times a season. Plus, you've got the cup matches, the Champions League. It was like the perfect storm.
A recipe for, like, an epic rivalry.
You gotta remember, El Clasico was already one of the most heated rivalries in football.
It was, yeah.
But with Messi and Ronaldo leading the charge, it became something else entirely.
Totally different level.
Every match was a global event.
The whole world was watching.
And the goals, I mean, they were just racking up insane numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly battling for the Pichichi Trophy.
The top scorer award in La Liga.
It wasn't just about team success anymore, it was about individual dominance.
Absolutely.
It's hard to imagine the pressure, not just on them,
Right.
but on their teammates too. Every pass, every shot.
Carried the weight of the rivalry.
It's like they were playing under a microscope, with the whole world watching.
And judging. Don't forget that.
Yeah. You know, in the 2009-10 season, Messi was just on fire.
He was unbelievable.
So dominant that the Spanish press were saying Ronaldo's reign was over.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine the headlines? The scrutiny?
The pressure must have been immense.
But you know what? Ronaldo thrives on that kind of pressure.
He does, doesn't he?
And then, what happens? 2010, they both score hat tricks on the same day.
Talk about a statement.
It was like they were feeding off each other's energy, pushing each other to be better.
Like a game of chess almost. Every move, every goal, a calculated response.
2011, their first international face-off.
A friendly match.
But of course, they both find the net.
It was inevitable, wasn't it?
It's like every time they shared the pitch, the world just stopped to watch.
It was magic.
Then you have that insane 4-game series in the 2010-11 season finale.
Oh, yeah?
2 La Liga matches, a Copa del Rey final, and a Champions League semifinal.
Back to back to back to back.
It was a roller coaster.
Talk about dramatic.
Messi's 2 goals in that Champions League semifinal, legendary.
Absolutely legendary.
One of them was even called one of the best goals in Champions League history.
I mean, come on. That's saying something.
You could feel the momentum shifting.
Back in Messi's favor.
But Ronaldo, he always had an answer.
He did, didn't he?
In the 2012 La Liga title race, he scores the game-winning goal against Barcelona.
Oh, man.
It was constant back and forth, this battle for every inch of the pitch.
They wouldn't give an inch.
And you see it in Ronaldo's run of scoring in 6 straight El Clasico matches at Camp Nou.
Wow.
That's Barcelona's home turf.
That takes serious mental fortitude.
Then Messi comes back and secures the all-time top scorer title in El Clasico with a hat trick in 2014.
Another record broken.
Another chapter in this epic rivalry.
It was like a constant game of one-upmanship.
But their battle went way beyond El Clasico. It was this constant race to break records, set new milestones.
It really was. They pushed each other and the whole sport to a whole new level.
And it's interesting, this whole rivalry became about personalities too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You had Ronaldo physically imposing, always striving for that perfection.
Yeah.
And then you have Messi,
Oh, right.
the quiet genius. Just lets his, feet do the talking.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I think that contrast really drew people in.
Oh, yeah.
Two completely different approaches to the game.
Yeah.
But both achieving these crazy results.
And it's like nature versus nurture, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, were they born with this talent
Correct.
or did they, develop it through hard work and dedication?
And it wasn't just on the pitch, right?
Yeah.
Their personalities, they kind of carried over off the field too.
Totally.
Ronaldo, always in the spotlight,
Yeah.
embracing fame and fortune. Messi, more reserved,
Yeah.
letting his football do the talking.
Right. And I feel like that really played into the whole media narrative too, didn't it?
Oh, for sure.
It was easy to paint them as rivals, opposites.
Right.
Even if the reality was probably a lot more complex.
Way more nuanced. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Ronaldo himself said they pushed each other to be better.
Right. He did say that.
But Messi always denied any bad blood.
Yeah.
Always blamed the media for making it a fight.
Right. I mean, I think there's a quote from him where he says he never saw it as a rivalry.
Yeah,
That it was all just the press.
right. Just something they made up.
And, when you watch them on the pitch, they were always professional,
Oh, absolutely.
always respectful. I mean, it's hard to imagine them having any real issues with each other.
I mean, behind the scenes, who knows?
Right. But then there was that book, right, the excerpt where Ronaldo was supposedly bad-mouthing Messi.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Ronaldo denied it, obviously.
Of course.
But it just added to the drama, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's like, even if it's not true, these stories, they take on a life of their own.
Yeah.
They contribute to the narrative, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, it played right into that idea of this, bitter rivalry.
Right, even if the players themselves weren't actually, buying into it.
Exactly.
But remember when Ronaldo said he hoped one day they could just laugh about it all?
Yeah. Like over a beer or something.
Like it was like maybe underneath all the media hype,
Yeah.
there was some genuine respect there.
Maybe even friendship.
Yeah, like camaraderie, right. Like they were in this crazy journey together.
Sharing this unique experience.
Exactly. And don't forget what Messi said when Ronaldo left Real Madrid.
Oh, right. Yeah. He said he missed him.
He missed him.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
It does. I think those little moments,
Yeah.
they reveal a truth that gets lost in all the noise.
Totally. I mean, these were two guys
Yeah.
at the top of their game,
Absolutely.
pushing each other, sharing a stage that almost no one else can understand.
It makes you wonder, right? Like without that rivalry,
Yeah.
without that constant pressure to one-up each other. Yeah.
Would they have reached the same level?
I mean, that's a great question, isn't it?
Right. Did they need each other?
To reach those heights? Or were they destined for greatness no matter what?
Right. It's like two master chess players,
Yeah, totally.
always anticipating each other's moves, always evolving their game.
It's hard to imagine one without the other.
And then there's that twist, right? 2023, Ronaldo just comes out and says, the rivalry's over.
Gone, he said. Just like that.
And then 2024 rolls around,
Yeah,
and for the first time since 2003,
I know.
neither of them is nominated for the Ballon d'Or.
It's crazy to think about.
It really felt like the end of an era, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like this chapter closes on one of the biggest stories in sports history.
But the debate continues, right?
Oh, of course.
Who is really better, Messi or Ronaldo?
And that's what makes it so interesting, right?
It is, yeah.
There's no clear winner,
Right.
no knockout punch.
No, it's all nuanced. Different styles, different personalities.
Two guys who just redefined what it means to be a football superstar.
We've got to remember, this rivalry didn't happen in a vacuum, right?
Oh, good point.
This was the rise of social media, 204/7 news cycle, globalization of the sport.
Totally different landscape.
They were constantly in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Every goal, every assist, every little slip up just analyzed and debated endlessly.
And that pressure.
It had to be insane.
Oh, it had to be.
Just to perform under that constant scrutiny.
It's hard to imagine.
But they didn't just perform.
Right.
They dominated. They set records, won trophies.
Inspired a generation.
All while living under a microscope.
It makes you wonder, could a rivalry like this even happen today?
Good question. I mean, the way we watch sports is so different now.
Totally different.
Social media, shorter attention spans.
So much content competing for our eyeballs.
It's hard to imagine two players just capturing the world's attention like that.
Like they did.
Back then, everyone had an opinion, you know?
It was a shared experience. Almost.
Everyone was invested. Maybe we're looking back with rose-colored glasses,
Right? A little bit, maybe.
But there was something special about that era.
There was. I mean, the way this rivalry transcended the sport itself.
It was more than a game, right? It was a cultural touchstone.
Totally. A conversation starter.
A way to, like, connect with people from all walks of life.
Yeah, exactly. And even though it's over,
Officially.
the impact's going to be felt for years.
Decades, even, I think.
You know, we talk about their individual brilliance.
Yeah.
But we got to remember, they were part of incredible teams, too.
Oh, totally.
Messi at Barcelona,
Yeah.
Ronaldo at Manchester United and Real Madrid,
Surrounded by world-class players.
who helped them reach their potential.
Think about Xavi and Iniesta with Messi,
Yeah,
or Scholes and Giggs with Ronaldo.
legendary partnership.
They elevated everyone around them.
It's like a symphony, right?
I like
And
that.
everyone playing their part.
To create something beautiful.
Messi and Ronaldo,
Yeah.
they were the conductors.
Leading the charge. Inspiring those around them to reach new heights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a good reminder,
Yeah.
even the greatest individual talents,
Yeah.
they need the right environment,
Yeah.
the right support system.
To truly shine.
So as we wrap up this part,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a question.
Okay, hit me.
How much of this rivalry was real competition
Yeah.
and how much was just media hype?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, how much was just a story the media wanted to tell?
Right. And how much was genuine, you know, these two guys going head to head?
Yeah.
I think it's a mix. Their talent was real, no doubt.
Right.
But the media, they ran with it. Every match,
Yeah.
a battle, a showdown, it
Yeah.
blew the whole thing up, made it bigger than life.
And we still see it today, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Years later,
Yeah.
people still argue. Messi or Ronaldo?
And it's like, will we ever have an answer?
I don't know. But that's what makes it so interesting.
It is.
It's not just football anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's legacy, how we judge greatness.
Yeah.
The power of the story.
And I kind of feel bad for any player coming after them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They'll always be compared to Messi and Ronaldo.
Right.
Held to this impossible standard.
Like, how do you even follow that?
Right. Trying to fill those shoes.
It's a tough act to follow.
But it also shows you the impact they had.
Absolutely.
They raised the bar for everyone.
Yeah.
Skill, yeah, but also just their work ethic, their dedication.
They were the complete package, really.
They redefined what it meant to be like a global sports superstar.
On and off the pitch.
They became brands, you
Yeah.
know, philanthropists, role models.
Amazing when you think about it. All that pressure,
Yeah.
all that scrutiny.
Yeah.
And they still managed to use their platform for good.
To give back.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what do you think are the big takeaways? What's the heart of this story?
I think it shows us there's no one way to be great.
Good point.
You know, Messi, Ronaldo, they were both incredible,
Right.
but they got there in totally different ways.
Different styles, different personalities.
No single path to success, you know?
I like that.
And I think it shows rivalry doesn't have to be like a bad thing.
Oh, interesting.
It can be fuel, right?
Yeah.
Push you to be better.
It's easy to get caught up in the drama, right?
Totally. Like us versus them.
Yeah. But at its core,
Yeah.
this was two amazing athletes just pushing each other to be their best.
That's what sports should be, right? Inspiring us, challenging us, showing us what's possible.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to everyone listening out there, thanks for joining us on this journey.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you've learned a little something.
Yeah.
Gained a new appreciation for this epic rivalry.
Two legends of the game.
And remember, the debate might never end,
Right.
but that's part of what makes it so great.
It keeps us talking, keeps us thinking.
So keep those conversations going, keep exploring, and let's celebrate the legacy of Messi and Ronaldo. They gave us something truly special.
Something we'll never forget.